Hey guys, Adam Lobo here from Adam Lobo TV, and since I've promised y'all to unbox and review the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II as soon as I get it, well, here it is. Let's first unbox the phone. Now, like the Xperia 10 Mark II, it comes in a white box with Xperia and 1 Mark II in the middle, and you'll find the Sony logo down below. Then at the back, you'll find some of the specs below there as well. Opening the box, you'll immediately find the phone itself. Underneath, there's the product info leaflet. Then at the back, there's the Sony headphones, a USB-C to USB-C cable, and of course the charging brick. Now going over to the phone specs, the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II comes with a Snapdragon 865 chipset with the Adreno 650 GPU. It comes with either 8 gigs or 12 gigs of RAM with 256 gigs of storage. It comes shipped with Android 10 with Xperia UI, which as mentioned before, it looks and feels like stock Android, and it comes with IP65/68 dust and water resistant as well. Now, starting from the phone's design and build, the phone did feel quite light on my hands with an even longer form factor compared to the Xperia 10 Mark II, and of course compared to any other smartphones out right now. And of course this longer screen has to do because of its screen aspect ratio, which I'll talk about more later. Now it has a glossy aluminum frames at the side, which does make the phone look very premium, and the front and the back is made of Corning Gorilla Glass 6. Then the rear cameras are placed towards the left with a thin camera bump, but it does wobble a bit when you place the phone and typing it on the surface. Looking at the phone spots and buttons, looking down below, there is the USB-C port. Now you won't find any speaker grills over there because the stereo speakers are placed towards the bottom chin of the phone and also at the earpiece area. On the right, you'll find the volume rockers and the power button, which doubles up as a side fingerprint sensor. Not the fastest, but quite decent indeed. Then on the left, there is the SIM and the micro SD card slot, and I love how you can easily open it with your fingernails instead of typically using a SIM ejector tool. And finally, on top, you'll find the almost extinct headphones jack. Yeah, I still love them. So the display on the phone again is one of the unique selling points of the phone. Once again, it honestly feels like it has shrunk their 4K OLED screen into the device, where it comes with a 6.5-inch OLED screen with a longer aspect ratio of 21:9, and yes, as mentioned, it has a 4K UHD resolution of 3840 by 1644 pixels, making this the best smartphone display that I've ever seen, especially with the HDR-BT 2020 technology. So the refresh rate was maintained at 60Hz as Sony went with screen quality rather than refresh rate, and watching videos on the phone was truly amazing, especially with the wider screen format. There's also the creator mode for the screen, which gives the most color accurate screen, not only when it comes to watching videos but also when it comes to photo editing to make sure that you get the best color possible through its 10-bit color depth. As for the phone's cameras, there are 3 cameras, which is the Zeiss optic lenses, where the main camera is a 12-megapixel f1.7 24mm wide lens, a 12-megapixel f2.4 70mm telephoto lens, and another 12-megapixel f2.2 16mm ultra-wide angle lens. Now the pictures on the main lens were quite impressive with great colors and dynamic range. Now the images turned out really nice during bright daylight and even when it's cloudy as well. Now it's nice to know that the color shift issues that I had with the Sony Xperia 10 Mark II have been fixed over here, where the overall images look great with nice focal length with no barrel distortion at the edges and amazing color reproduction. Then there's also the 3x optical zoom, since there is a dedicated 70mm telephoto lens. Now there's no dedicated night mode on the phone, but the camera software will adapt to the screen accordingly, so expect some inconsistency during low light situations, but when you do get the shot, it looks decent as well. Then as for the front camera, it has an 8-megapixel f2.0 aperture 24mm wide lens. The regular selfie shots were good with nice skin tones, not too soft, neither it was too sharp like some phones tend to do. Then as for the portrait selfie, it did turn out great, but sometimes the edge detection can be a hit or miss, but overall it was great. As for the phone's video taking capabilities, it records up to 4K 2160 up to 30 frames per second, and you can also take HDR videos as well. Looking at the video footage, it was great with pleasing and great detail. Image stabilization was great for the ultra-wide and also for the main lens. Then as for the front camera, it records up to 1080p up to 30 frames per second with also great stabilization, but I kind of wish that it had a 4K front video recording since it does have a high-end processor and of course with a 4K screen. But overall, the front camera's dynamic range when it comes to the video taking capabilities was pretty amazing, as you guys can see, especially when taking videos during a harsh daylight. Now what's new on the phone is of course the preloaded softwares like the Photo Pro and the Cinema Pro to get a sort of Sony mirrorless or DSLR camera experience on the phone, where you can dive in deeper into the adjustments of photo and video on a more professional level. Now as for the phone's sound quality, it has front-facing stereo speakers and surely one of the best smartphone speakers that I've ever reviewed over here. Now in terms of the codec options, there is the Dolby Atmos and the DSEEE Ultimate for an uncompressed sound, and paired with the Sony WH-1000XM4, you will get an amazing sound experience through the phone where the overall volume seems to output louder than any other smartphones do. On top of that, there's also the dynamic vibration which gives a vibrated effect when there's low-end sounds, which of course was a great experience, making me just want to watch videos non-stop on the phone. And yes, it does have the same effect when it comes to music with the speaker output volume at 88.6 dB, and here is a quick sound test. Now in terms of software, it is shipped with Android 10 with the Xperia UI, which as mentioned, it does feel very close and even looks like stock Android. Now there were no issues during my usage when it comes to opening a bunch of apps, scrolling and navigating as well. Although I never talk about haptic vibrations in my other phone reviews, but I have to give it to Sony for having nice haptics on the phone. Now like the Xperia 10 Mark II, there's also the side sense and the one-handed mode as well, which is great when it comes to using a phone with a longer form factor, and the split screen mode was also a great addition to the phone as well. Now let's look at the phone's battery. The phone comes with 4000 mAh of battery, and since I did get a good amount of battery when I reviewed the Xperia 10 Mark II, I knew that I would get a good battery life on this too. And based on my usage, I got a rough total of 5 hours and 35 minutes of screen on time when I was at 10% battery, which was really good since the phone has a 4-screen resolution display. And the phone also has fast charging up to 21 watts and fast wireless charging up to 11 watts. Now in terms of gaming, again because of its OLED screen and of course the front-facing speaker, it was a great smartphone to play games on. There's also the Game Enhancer mode to give you more customized options during gameplay as well. Now playing games like Asphalt 9 was amazing, and in PUBG Mobile, it ran great with graphics at HDR and frame rate set to high, where the phone did heat up just a bit during a very long gameplay, but it did not affect the gaming performance at all. So in conclusion, I have to say that the Sony Xperia 1 Mark II is a huge improvement compared to the previous generations. Firstly, the biggest improvement is of course the phone's camera compared to the Xperia 10 Mark II. Now the battery life was also great, and if you are the kind of person who consumes lots of videos on your phone, you will surely appreciate the 4K color accurate HDR screen and the overall audio experience on the phone. Now with that, I even may consider making this as my daily driver smartphone, but do let me know what you guys think of the phone at the comment section below. Now looking at the phone's price here in Malaysia, it is going for 4,999 ringgit, and I'll leave a link down below for you guys to get yourself one. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. That would be very much appreciated. Like, share and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV if you haven't done so. My name is Adam Lobo, and I'll catch you guys in my next video.